Hey guys, Jared here from Deere Country Farm and Lawn. This morning, we're inside our Lancaster showroom here, and we're going to take a look at the controls and operation on your X300 series and 500 series lawn and garden tractors. Let's get started. All right guys, so I'm sitting on a John Deere X380 here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over the controls on this specific X380. There is a couple things to note here real quick. This is a manual unit, manual steering, manual deck lift. There is some differences in the power steering unit, and we're going to go over that here when we look at the X590 real quick towards the end of the video. What we're going to cover first is, like I said, the controls on the left-hand side here. So if we look here on our left-hand side, we are going to have first, we're going to go over our throttle and our choke system. So we do have our throttle system right here that's indicated by the orange lever, and we do have our choke system, which is indicated by the black lever right here. The black lever for the choke system is a spring-loaded choke. So in order to hold it up, you do have to hold it up manually the whole time. If you release it, it is spring-loaded and it will go to the run position. So when you are starting these units, you want to give it a little bit of throttle, about quarter throttle to start. You will have to hold up this choke system with your one hand while you turn the key with the other one. Once the engine starts to run, you can then let that go. That will revert down to the run position right here. Of course, like I said, throttle system right here. So when you're ready to mow, you can take that all the way up, full throttle. And of course, all the way down would just be your idle for when you're ready to turn it off or you're getting off the machine to do something. Next thing over here on the left-hand side that we're going to go over is going to be your mower lift. Like I said, this will differ between power steering models, power deck lift models, and also the manual system. As I stated before, the X380 is a manual system. So if you look down here, you will see your mower height adjustment. Now this will give you how high you will be cutting in inches, and it is a dial set. You will see the arrow and some numbers pointed out in a circular motion there. You will simply turn the dial where you need it to be. Say for example, 2.5 inches right there. And on a manual system, you will have a foot lever as well as a mower lift lock. So right now you can see that this lock right here is raised up and that pedal is pushed all the way in. That does mean that the mower is locked in the transport or the highest height position. Once we set our dial down there to release it, what we're going to do is we're going to push down on this pedal and we're going to push down on your lock right there. That will release the transport lock, and when you release your foot on the pedal, the mower will drop down to where you have your height set. Now it is good to note here real quick, if you do need to change your height and your mower is lowered all the way down to the mower height, right now it will not turn. So you do need to raise the deck back up again to be able to turn this dial right here. To lock it, simply pull up when the pedal is pushed all the way down, and it will lock itself up in the transport lock. Now there is a trick to this too. I do notice sometimes if you push too hard on the pedal, this lock will not seem like it wants to lock itself in place, or if you don't push far enough down, it won't work. So trick here real quick is if you're trying to lock your mower deck all the way up, sometimes what I like to do is I like to hold this lock up, put a little bit of pressure up here in the corner, and push down until I hear it click into place, just like that. That is your controls here on the left-hand side. We will go over this here in a second. Let's move to the right-hand side real quick and take a look at that. All right, so here on the right-hand side of the machine, we're gonna go over a couple controls here. We'll start effectively from the bottom and kind of work our way up. Of course, this is a hydrostatic machine, so you do have your side-by-side pedals right here. They do have arrows on them to dictate which motion of travel the machine will go in. Of course, the larger one would be the forward one. The smaller one, the reverse pedal. There is no gears. Speed's going to be dictated by how far down you press. and also to how much RPMs the engine has, how much engine speed it has. The higher the engine RPMs, when you push down, it will go faster in conjunction with that. Next thing we're going to look at here is going to be this pedal right here. This pedal above your hydrostatic pedals is going to be your park brake. How that is, or how that operates, if you look here, you will see your park lock. Now it's very similar to what we just went over on the other side with your mower raise and lower. This right here, when it's raised up like this and that pedal's pushed all the way in, that will be your park engaged. To take your park brake off, same concept as the other side. You're going to give this a push down. You are also going to push down your lock, and that will disengage it. And then you can release your foot, and the park brake is off. You are free to move forward or backwards. To put that on, same deal. You're going to pull up on that, or as I like to do, pull up on that and push this in until you hear the click. Once you hear that click, you can let your foot off. The park brake will be engaged. Now you do have some safety switches in this right here. Keep in mind this pedal has to be pushed down for the mower to start. It doesn't necessarily have to be locked, but you at least have to have it depressed all the way in order for the engine to crank over. If the park brake's off and it's sitting like that, you go to turn the key, nothing will happen. So make sure when you're starting the machine, you either have this pushed down or you have it locked. Next thing we're gonna go over here real quick is gonna be this little button right here. It looks like a little speed dial with a little arrow on it. This right here is going to be a cruise lock. Now how that's going to work is if you have, of course, the park brake off and it only works in forward, you're going to push down and push the forward pedal down. So say if you're you have a wide area that you're mowing, you don't feel like holding the hydrostatic pedal down, or it's really rough and as you're going over that terrain, the speed keeps kind of changing because your foot keeps bumping off the forward pedal. You can push this down and push this forward and you'll hear it kind of click into place. You can set your speed where you want it to be. So push down that pedal, keep holding this down, release your foot, and then release that. And what that will do is that will hold that hydrostatic pedal in the position that you have it set for. Now, when you're ready to release it, simply just push the forward pedal in a little bit and you will see up here how it does release itself. Once it releases itself, of course, that turns the cruise control off. Next thing we're going to go over right here is going to be your mower deck engagement. This is a clutch style system, so it is electronic. It is a simple pull up for your mower deck engagement. That'll turn your mower blades on. It is going to be a push down to turn your mower blades off. Now that yellow button over here on the other side, I'll try to move the steering wheel a little bit, that we didn't touch base with right away, that's on the left-hand side. That works hand in hand with your mower deck engagement. What it is if you have the mower blades going and you try to back up with the machine, if you do nothing, the mower deck will shut off. The engine will stay running, but the mower deck will shut off. This is your reverse override. What this allows you to do is before you back up, so you come to a stop, you're ready to back up, you will push and hold this down, then start backing up, and that will keep the mower blades engaged while you're mowing backwards. Now, you don't have to hold it the whole time that you're backing up. Once you start moving in reverse, you can let go of it. The mower blades will continue to stay on. You can mow your entire yard in backwards if you wanted to. But every time you decide to back up, you will have to do this operation again before you back up. Like I said, if you do forget about it, it's not a big deal. You will have to go back to your PTO engagement here, your mower deck engagement. If it shuts off, just push it down, turn it back on. The mower deck will come right back on for you. It's not a big deal on that. But like I said, this will allow you to keep the mower blades on while moving in reverse. One thing we're going to look at here real quick is going to be your key ignition system. You have a stop position. You have two auxiliaries in your normal start position. So on your stop position, of course, is to turn the mower off. You have one spot right here, which is a normal run position, but we'll have the headlights on. You have another position right here, which is going to be just a normal run position with the headlights off. And of course, the next position, if you push it over, will be like a car. You're starting the engine. Pretty self-explanatory on that. Like I said, if you need the headlights, just have it set for that position while you're running the machine. It will turn the headlights on and the engine and everything will stay in operation. And of course, to turn the machine off, just take it all the way back. You do have a display up here, and I'm going to recommend referring to your owner's manual to take a look at that. The info display is going to give you a handful of helpful tips. You're going to have everything from engine hours in there. You're going to have fuel levels. You're going to have your battery level. You're going to have a low oil pressure sensor. You're also going to have some caution and some stop symbols on there, which will dictate if that stop symbol comes on, something major with the machine has happened, and it is recommended to turn it off and call the dealer. So I will recommend referring to the owner's manual on that. Most of it does go off as soon as I turn this key on. It'll cycle through the dash and then it'll go off. So if you just read through your operator's manual of your X3 and X500 series, it will give you a full definition of everything that is on that. With that being said, that is your overall controls of the operator station here. We're going to take a quick break here real quick, and we're going to move over to this X590. I'm going to show you a few things on the garden tractor series that we did not cover here on this X380 that will be important. So let's take a look at that. All right, guys, so we're standing next to an X590 here. This is going to be your top of the line garden series tractor. What we want to do is look at a couple things on the X500 series and also the power steering models that we didn't cover there with the X380 that we were just on. So first thing, one of the major differences here, you will notice that you do not have a pedal on this side. Now, this is going to be for the power steering and power deck lift options. That goes for the X300 series and X500 series that have that option. What this does is it eliminates the pedal right here in that mower lift lock that we talked about. That is going to turn this into a switch. So instead of holding it up, that'll keep the mower deck all the way up. This now becomes a push and a pull type switch. Pretty self-explanatory on that. You want to lower the mower deck down, you are going to push down on it. You want to raise the mower deck up, you will pull up on it. That will raise the mower deck up. Same concept applies to your mower height adjustment in the engines, your dial down there. The mower does have to be raised all the way up in order to adjust your height right there. Another thing that we're going to look at here on the X500 series only is going to be the differential lock. This does not apply to the X300 series. This diff lock starts on the X500 series and goes on up to the X7s as well as the compacts. Now, this differential lock system right here, it's a very simple system. What that does, they call it a traction assist. When you push this down and hold it down, this will lock both rear wheels together, so traction is equal on both wheels. You don't get that one wheel slipping. They will recommend things like slowing down to a slow speed or completely stopping the machine before you engage that. You don't want to be spinning one wheel and push down on that. You want to slow it down or, for better, stop the machine, then push that down, then start to move forward again. Another thing here real quick too we're going to talk about with the steering wheel. The X590 is equipped with it, and there are other models in the X300 series that does have this. This is going to be a tilt steering wheel right here. So just like your car, specific models will have this tilt steering wheel. It's a simple pull up, and then you can adjust the steering wheel to your liking on that. Another thing here real quick that we're going to touch base on, and this is specific to the X590 in case you're looking at this kind of wondering why it doesn't have that choke lever that we were talking about. The X590 is a fuel injected machine. This right here is simply just your engine RPMs. There is no choke needed on a fuel injected machine. This is specific to the X590 here. So that is some of the differences here that you're going to see on the Garden Series tractor that we did not talk about on that X380. All right, guys, so that's going to conclude our basic tutorial of the controls on the X300 and 500 series lawn and garden tractors. As always, refer to your owner's manual should you forget anything, especially with that dash, that LCD readout display there. We briefly went over that, but it is good to familiarize yourself with that. Make sure if anything does pop up on there that you are familiar with what it means. So that's going to conclude our video here today. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found it informative. If you did, hit that like button down below, subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting out more videos, tips, and tricks for your equipment here at Dirt Country Farm and Lawn.